When you go to conferences, workshops, and networking events, you often need to introduce yourself. You might not know what to say or how much to say, so you might brag about all your accomplishments, ramble on with unnecessary details, or feel so nervous that you just state your name and job title so the next person can go. But crafting a clear, compelling introduction pitch is essential for highlighting your expertise, showing confidence, and making lasting connections. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through how to create a polished introduction pitch that you can use to make a powerful impression during conferences, workshops, networking events, job interviews, and more. And if we haven't met, hello, my name is Crystal Heron. I'm a trained biomedical scientist turned clinical researcher and now scientific and medical editor. And I've helped thousands of scientists, clinicians, and other professional writers master the craft of writing so they can write with intention and maximize their impact in their field. So for many years now, I've been presenting and running workshops at universities and conferences. And in the Redwood Ink Academy, I host weekly events, including workshops on various topics in scientific and medical communication. But when there are new people in the room, I like to take a few minutes to have everyone introduce themselves. And I've noticed the different ways that people do this. Some introductions are too long, some are packed with jargon, some are even a little braggy and off-putting, but many of them are not very compelling. So I recently did a workshop on how to craft an introduction pitch in the Academy. And in case you'd like to check out the Academy, I'll add a link to the description box. But within an hour after the workshop, one of my students emailed me to say that she just used her new pitch when talking to a recruiter and that she felt so confident when she delivered it. I was so happy for her, and I want you to have that same confidence. So I'm going to share the same process with you in this video. So what is the formula for a strong introduction pitch? A strong introduction pitch follows a three-part framework. The first part tells people who you are. So what is your role, your job title, your identity, or your field? The second part tells people what you work on or care about. So this might be the main focus of your research, the types of documents you work on, or the problem you help solve. And the third part tells people why what you do matters or what impact it has. For example, what is the practical outcome? What are you curious about? Or what is the benefit of what you do? So to craft an effective introduction pitch, you can start by answering 3 questions to get that 3-part framework. First, what is your professional focus or current role? So this answer will help you craft the who you are part of the pitch. Second, what specific area or problem do you study, write about, or support? So this answer will help you craft the what you do part of the pitch. And third, why does it matter to you, to patients, to science, to society? This answer will help you craft the why it matters part of the pitch. Then you can use the answers to these 3 questions to craft your introduction pitch. And when you craft your pitch, you want it to have a clear, compelling message, and the 3-part framework will help with that. And you also want to ensure that your pitch is only 2 to 3 sentences long or no more than 60 words max. I'd say around 40 to 45 words is better. Let's look at a few examples and then I'll give you a few bonus tips. We're going to look at 4 examples. One for an established biomedical researcher, one for an early career researcher, one for a clinician, and one for a freelance medical writer. And that way you can get an idea of what different pitches look like and what one might look like for your particular career. So let's say you are a biomedical researcher. Your pitch might be, I'm a biomedical researcher who studies how chronic inflammation contributes to cardiovascular disease. My work focuses on identifying cellular pathways that could be targeted to reduce the risk of heart disease. I'm passionate about developing treatments that can reduce inflammation and heart disease in patients. In this example, the who you are is I'm a biomedical researcher who studies how chronic inflammation contributes to cardiovascular disease. Then the what you do is my work focuses on identifying cellular pathways that could be targeted to reduce the risk of heart disease. And the why it matters is I'm passionate about developing treatments that can reduce inflammation and heart disease in patients. Now, let's say that you are an early career researcher. You might have something like, I'm a PhD candidate in neuroscience at Stanford University, and I'm studying how stress affects memory formation. I'm interested in bridging lab research with strategies that enhance learning and mental health. In this example, the who you are is I'm a PhD candidate in neuroscience at Stanford University. Then the what you do part is I'm studying how stress affects memory formation. And the why it matters is I'm interested in bridging lab research with strategies that enhance learning and mental health. Now, let's say you are a clinician. You might have something like, I'm a family physician focused on preventive care and managing chronic illnesses such as diabetes and hypertension. I work closely with patients to develop personalized health plans that improve their quality of life. I'm passionate about empowering people to take control of their health through education and support. In this example, the who you are is I'm a family physician focused on preventive care and managing chronic illnesses such as diabetes and hypertension. The what you do is I work closely with patients to develop personalized health plans that improve their quality of life. And the why it matters is I'm passionate about empowering people to take control of their health through education and support. Okay, let's do one more example for a freelance medical writer. I'm a freelance medical writer who specializes in translating complex research into clear, accessible content for patients. I help scientists and clinicians communicate their findings effectively to support informed decision-making. My goal is to make medical knowledge understandable and actionable for patients. So here, the who you are is I'm a freelance medical writer who specializes in translating complex research into clear, accessible content for patients. Then the what you do is I help scientists and clinicians communicate their findings effectively to support informed decision-making. And the why it matters is my goal is to make medical knowledge understandable and actionable for patients. Each of these examples follows the 3-part framework for an effective introduction pitch. Now that you've seen some examples, I want to give you a few bonus tips to help you craft and deliver the best possible introduction pitch. First, avoid jargon because it can alienate people or put them off if they don't understand it. And the idea is to craft a pitch that will connect you with others. And actually, you might create slightly different pitches for different audiences. For example, you might have one pitch for specialists in your fields that you meet at conferences, one for non-specialists that you might meet at a workshop, and one for people that you might bump into in an elevator. Also, you want to practice your pitch so that you can deliver it confidently. I recommend memorizing it, and then record yourself saying it. That way you can listen to it to notice how your voice sounds so that you can refine your tone or your pace if needed. For example, notice your speed or how fast you are delivering your pitch. If you go too fast, you will sound nervous. But if you go too slow, you might not sound confident. Also, notice your tone and inflection as you give your pitch. Notice if your voice goes up or down at the end of your sentences. If your voice goes up at the end of your sentence, your pitch will sound like a question, as though you are questioning yourself, which does not sound confident. But if your voice goes down at the end of your sentence, you will sound confident. So if your voice goes up at the end of your sentence, you might sound like this. I'm a neuroscientist who studies the role of tau in Alzheimer's disease. Notice how that sounded like a question. But if my voice goes down, I sound more confident. I'm a neuroscientist who studies the role of tau in Alzheimer's disease. Much better. So if you want to craft a compelling introduction pitch, you can use the 3-part framework of who you are, what you do, and why it matters. Then you can practice your pitch so that you can say it confidently no matter what the occasion is or who you might be talking to. And as you and your career evolve, be sure to update your pitch. I revisit mine every year to update and refine it. And if you've been crafting your pitch while watching this video, share in the comments below so that we can see more examples and get inspired for how we might refine our own pitches. And if there's anything in particular that you'd like to learn more about related to scientific and medical communication, let me know in the comments. I create these videos for you, so I want to make sure that I'm creating something that you will find valuable. Thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely day, and I hope to see you in the next video.